Hi guys, welcome to Big Loz Official. Today I just want to talk a little about the up and coming Britain's Strongest Man, January 19th. I will be competing in it. That's what I've focused my training on now. I'm really looking forward to it. Obviously last year I missed out, and it's been a long time since I feel like I've done a big Britain's Strongest Man in front of a big crowd, so I'm looking forward to competing. It's up in Sheffield, same place as last year, and we've pretty much just had the athletes announced, so I wanted to go through who's competing so you've got a good idea of who's going to be there. We will do an updated video. I'm going to do a few blogs actually on my training up towards the British, but we'll do an updated video with the events soon. I do have a good idea of what they are, but they haven't been officially told to us yet, and some of them might change, so I don't want to tell you some events and then them change, but there's going to be some kind of overhead, there's going to be a deadlift, there's going to be some Atlas stones, you know, normal type of events, but I'll do a video on that once I know officially what they're all going to be. But I just wanted to go through the athletes competing this year. So firstly, myself, I'm going to be competing. Obviously I didn't do Europe's last year, I didn't do the British, so it's really exciting to be back competing in a Giants live show. They are without question the best shows. The arena shows are my favourite to do. I love the big crowds, just the energy that we get from them. It's always exciting, and for me as an athlete, that's what it's all about, competing in front of you guys. It motivates me to work harder in the gym, and hopefully I can come and put a big performance in. I will be aiming to win my 3rd British title. In the last 8 years, only 2 guys have won the British title, myself and obviously Eddie Hall has dominated for the last few years. This year, 2019, Eddie won't be doing it. I think he's still going to be there and still be involved with the show, but he's not going to be competing. So it's going to be a really close battle, I think. One that I believe I can win, but there's so many good guys. So this year we're going to have Felix coming back. Mark is just still going at 52 years old. He's incredible, and he's always very, very dangerous on a number of events. Both Stoltman brothers, Luke and Tom, they're you know, established names now in Strongman, and they're both doing very, very well on the national and international scene. They're good at a lot of the events, and it's going to be they're going to look to be stepping up. I know Luke's done well a few times, and Tom's kind of, you know, been the up and coming new kid. Now it's time for him to step up. He's just won Scotland's Strongest Man. He's much better this year than he was last year. I think last year he was still a bit green. Nerves got to him a little bit on the day. I expect a much bigger performance from him this year, and he's definitely going to be a threat, as is Luke. Terry Holland's looking really kind of in good shape again. He's lean and athletic. The moving events and the fitness events are going to benefit him. His static strength still isn't up to what it used to be, but he's got time to improve it. But if there's going to be one event that might cost him a bit, it'd probably be the overhead. But if you watch his kind of YouTube videos, his Instagram videos, he's working hard on all his weaknesses, and you know, his confidence has grown from winning some of the events in Dubai recently. He won the truck pool, and he shows that he's still, on his day, one of the best strongmen in the world. Adam Bishop up next. Adam had a great year last year, or this year. It's still 2018. Came 3rd at the Giants Live World Tour Finals up in Manchester. He's a very, very good all-round athlete, no big weaknesses, an extremely good deadlifter, and he's just looking stronger and stronger all the time, so another big threat for the top contest. The guy that I would kind of this is probably going to sound funny because, you know, I'm competing and I want to win, and I will be going there to win, but I think the guy to watch out for everyone is going to be Graham Hicks. Hicks is looking extremely strong right now, and I don't mind kind of bigging up my opposition. You know, for me, I've never been someone that's kind of jealous of other guys being good, but Hicksy right now looks extremely strong. His deadlifting, his squatting, his pressing, he's just a static machine. His movement is good. It's just whether he can kind of hold it together on the day and kind of win a big title. He's yet to do that so far, but he's got all the tools, and I know it's going to be a hell of a battle. You know, I'm going to have to be on my game and performing at my best to beat him. I know that, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure he is too. After that, we got the 2 local boys, Phil Roberts and Paul Smith. Paul's done very well the last couple of years in a number of shows, and he's performed well at Britain's before. Last year I think he actually ended up winning an event, and he's improving all the time. He's got the experience. He competed at World's Strongest Man this year, and that kind of experience massively helps. You know, when you're new, you can be talented and good and strong, but learning how to compete is important, and getting that experience will have definitely helped him. And Paul's, you know, I'm sure he's ready to step up, and Paul's good at winning. You know, he's won titles, big titles. He's won the Junior World Championships, and knowing how to win at sport is important. It's not just about being really big and strong. You know, you've got to be competitive. You've got to know how to peak at a certain time, and Paul's pretty smart with his training, and he's good at that. He's good at bringing in his A game when it counts. Phil has improved loads as well. You know, Phil did Britain's a couple of years back. He was almost just happy to be there, whereas now, you know, he's hungry. He's improved massively. He's competed a lot in the Champions League. His improvement has been very impressive, actually, and he's another man that can cause an upset on a number of events, and he's very consistent. Maybe not the best at anything, but he's good at all events, and that consistency is very important in strongman. If you're not dropping points anywhere, I think there's always guys that are good at one or two events, but then they lose a lot of points in other areas. And to win big contests, you need to be consistently performing well, consistently scoring big points, and that's something Phil can do. Next person is a friend of mine and someone that's trained quite regularly with me recently, Aaron Page. He's really stepped up this year. A lot of guys might not know who Aaron is, but just recently he deadlifted 420 kilos in a contest. He's a 200 kilo log lifter. You know, he's performing better and better every single contest he does. He's put on so much strength and size recently. He kind of knows he needs to work a little bit on fitness over the next few months. But I expect Aaron to do really well. I don't want to put too much pressure on him because, you know, it's still relatively new at this kind of level, but I think he's got a great chance of getting a World's Strongest Man spot, and maybe even sneaking onto the podium. You know, if he can perform really well. I think the only event that, if they put it in, and there's talk of doing a farmer's walk or a frame carry, that's probably his weakest event in the whole show. The rest of it is like it would be like events that are made for him. And if he can perform well on the day, he can definitely do well and definitely challenge for the podium. Got Ben Brunning coming back from Wales. He had a good performance last year. Really looked like he enjoyed the show. I know he was a bit disappointed with his performance at the UK, so I'm sure he's, you know, really hungry to now rectify that and perform well at the Britons. The Britons, that's the show everyone wants to do, because it also is the chance for all these guys to qualify for World's Strongest Man. I'm the one athlete that's in a luxury position that, because I won the Giants Live in America this year, I've already qualified for World's Strongest Man. But you have a guaranteed 3 spots available, so the top 3 will be going to World's Strongest Man, and there's so many guys that can hit that spot this year. It's probably the most competitive Britons I've ever seen. There's always been guys that are good, and you tend to have guys that dominate. You know, Eddie, myself, Terry Hollands, Felix, we've always been at the top. Whereas now, the whole pack is full of strong athletes. And I know if I'm not on my A game, if I have a mistake or anything like that, I'm going to get punished for it. So I'm training really hard. I'm going to do some vlogs so you guys can see what I've been up to. The focus on my recovery, the focus on training, because I know I need to prepare well for this. And if I don't, I'm going to get beat. So for me, it's important that, you know, I do see these guys as a threat. I've got to be turning up at 100%, you know, performing at my best, which is what I'm focused on doing. Off the top of my head, I can't remember who else is competing at the moment, but you know, we've got Felix, Bish, Terry, Graham, the Strongman brothers, Phil and Paul, myself, Ben. Who am I missing? There's probably some names that are kind of staring out at me that I'm not thinking of, so I apologise for those guys that have been invited, aren't going to be. Aaron, that's about 10. There's usually about 12 guys in the British, so there's going to be an Irish representative, I should imagine, and possibly someone else. Or did I include myself? I don't know. There's going to be 12 awesome strongmen. You know, the British these days is an international show. It's not just you know, the best of the British. The guys in Britain now are unbelievably good. Everyone this year from Britain went to Worlds and, you know, almost made the final. We've had years before, we've had 3 or 4 guys in the final at World's Strongest Man. Terry's, you know, done well in the past. Mark Felix has done well. Eddie, obviously, we all know what he's done. I've won a number of international shows. Got guys like the Strongman brothers that are doing well. Bish is on the podium at the Giants Live show this year. There's just so many talented athletes in the UK, and it's great to see. And for those guys that aren't at the British yet, use it as motivation to push yourself even harder in training, because if you get to that level, you're ready for World's Strongest Man. It's not like a few years back where you get a few guys that really shouldn't be there. Now if you're competing at the British, you are ready to compete at the top level, and that's the standard that we have in Britain right now, which is great to see. It's great to be a part of. And to all the athletes competing, good luck, but I will be bringing my best. I'm looking for my 3rd title. It's going to be an awesome show. Make sure you get tickets. I've attached a link below for you guys to check out. Comment and let us know what events you'd like to see, and also which athletes you are hoping to see and do well. As long as you're cheering for me as well. I don't mind who you cheer for, but you know, come and support your favourites. Be friendly. You know, I think the strongman sport has kind of gone a little bit down the route of we've got to be mean to our opponents and it's like a fight or something. To me, that's kind of ridiculous. You know, we're all strongmen. We all want to do our best. We all want to win. I'm going there to win. I never ever hide the fact that I want to win a competition. You know, I train hard and I want to do the best that I can do. If things go well, you'll see me be happy. If things go badly, I'll be disappointed. I kind of like wear my heart on my sleeve when I'm competing, but at the end of the day, it's a competition. You shake hands with the guys afterwards, and whoever wins will be the deserving winner. It's going to be a great show. Get your tickets, check out the link below, and just keep coming back because I will show you what I'm doing for my training. I'm prepared to show you everything that I put in. You know, there's no secrets. It's hard work and graft that get you to the top, but you might pick up a few little tips from some of the things that I do that may be a little bit different to you guys with your own training for your own competitions. So come back and have a look. Hopefully you find it interesting. Let us know who you think is going to win, who you're going to be supporting, and have an awesome day, guys. I will speak to you soon.